Hello, all of you that are coming to us live from YouTube and watching. We are just setting up and letting everyone in the door for Funnel Fridays. This is Dawn Marie, the Bullioness, and we are going to get started here momentarily. Let's go ahead and let everyone in. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining us for Rapid Funnels Funnel Fridays with RapidFunnel on our AdvNav app. It's powered by RapidFunnel, and we're so excited you're here. Last week we had this huge kickoff for a secrets page that was brand spanking new, and almost forgot to hit recording too. There we go. So we just had our secrets page launch last week. We're super excited, got a whole bunch of new people joining us. And so we thought it's summertime, slower time of year than the fall. This is the perfect time to restart our 8-week series so that everyone can join us together. Now, if you've been part of this and this is the second time that you're going to be going through week 1, I want you to realize that every single time we do it, it's live with new information. And of course, we're going to do a live work session and Q&A. So it's always going to be custom. So even if you have a question about something that we aren't covering today, if you're wondering if there's a feature available, you're going to be able to ask that question. So, and as Jen will tell you, redundancy is key. So as we get started here, I want to go ahead and take a minute to introduce you to our fantastic RapidFunnel account executive. We do these Funnel Fridays every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and it gives us all an opportunity to really take our At Cost Metals business to the next level. We're going to keep your team stimulated, engaging, motivated, and surpassing obstacles. We're going to tell you some industry information about marketing that you may not be aware of. It's very enlightening. And Jen is amazing. She has been in the industry for over 33 years. She is a top rep in one of the companies. And she saw something very special in RapidFunnel. And so she wanted to partner up with Patrick Shaw, the CEO, who created RapidFunnel. And we have our own white label, which is called Advancement Navigator, that has been customly designed and built out just for us. So without further ado, I'd like you to meet Miss Jen Hegeman, and she's in a gorgeous Airstreamer. So Jen, take it away.
Well, thank you, Dawn, very much, and welcome everyone to your Funnel Friday. Hats off to Dawn and Antoine for orchestrating this and being so consistent and faithful to you guys with tremendous training. So, you are so blessed to have this kind of leadership guiding your ship. It really makes all the difference in the world. And they have created the content for this app for you, which I know that I'm seeing some familiar faces. So I know a bunch of you have been here and have been using it, but this week's training is really for people who are new. As Dawn shared, we're going to just start the series of trainings all over again, because, one of the things we know that's true about the network marketing space is that at any given time, probably about 70% of the people that are on your team that you're interacting with are brand new. So there's a lot of merit in repetition. And I would also encourage you to, even if you've heard this before, listen to it from the perspective of, can you teach it? Because, today you're the student, tomorrow you're the teacher. And in order for things to grow, you want to be able to impart how to do this to your team as well. So let me share my screen and let me get things going here. And then we will get started. Hold on one second. All right. So we are going to take a look at this app from the perspective of what it can do for you in terms of business building. And the real key to this is that this will allow you and will allow anyone new on your team to get going quickly and to know exactly what to do quickly and easily, be able to do it from their phone, which quite frankly, everyone has their phone with them all the time, right? So they basically have their business on their phone with them all the time, which is awesome. You have everything that you need in one place. You've got contact management systems. You've got resources where you can be sharing a survey or a video, or now you have the new leads generation page, which is absolutely fabulous as a way of finding pre-qualified people. And then for the people that aren't, ready to make up their mind, you've got an email campaign built in that you can put people into right away, so that you don't have to worry necessarily about follow-up. It's going to be automated for you. There are contests that your leadership is doing, which help keep everybody just energized, and also, of course, free prizes if you win and that sort of thing. Who doesn't like those? The app will also track your hot prospects. It will help you coordinate and stay organized with your tasks. And then here's my favorite, data and metrics. If you're looking over here on the right-hand side, about halfway down, one of the most challenging things as an entrepreneur is making sure that you're spending your time and energy in the right place, and that you're being effective with what you're doing. And this app helps you see that. It helps you know what are your percentages in terms of what you're doing. When you know those, then you know, okay, where to ask for help. Your leader, your coach, your mentor knows what to coach you on, and it just helps you grow your business much more quickly. There's also a coaching section, which I know these trainings go into that coaching section. So there's a lot of resources, but I know, as Dawn shared, I've been in this industry a long time. I was very fortunate to be introduced to this industry. But let me tell you, in that journey, I am a leader in my company, and I, as a leader, have been doing similar things to what Dawn and Antoine have been doing. They've been trying to find a way to make it so that the team can experience more success more easily and more quickly. So I did all the things. I did, an email thing. I don't even know how many contact management systems I used. I tried text blasting. I tried lead purchasing. You name it. I tried it. And the problem was, I was game to put all that energy and time into learning those things and spend the money, but I didn't want my team spending the time doing that. So when I found RapidFunnel, and you guys have it now as your Advancement Navigator platform, quite specific to your company, with the resources that your leaders are using successfully right now, that is huge. And when I saw the platform and I realized there was one place where I could have everything all together, instead of trying to get 2 or 3 or 4 different things that had nothing to do with each other, like Aweber or MailChimp, to talk to whatever contact management system I was using that month. Having it all integrated and talking to each other is such a game changer for me, and saves so much time. It's incredible. Here's the other part of it, though. Like I said, I'm a leader in my company, and so I didn't mind going out and spending the time and the energy and the money to sort this out. But I didn't want my new people spending their time there. I wanted my new people spending their time talking to people and telling the story. And that's where I realized what I was doing wasn't duplicatable. That's where this app comes in. You have something right on your phone that is very duplicatable. And if you can understand the power of duplication, that is the brilliance of network marketing. It's a space where the average person can come in and stands a chance to make an above average income because of the nature of the business. There's no real capital overhead. It's not like you have to go buy a building or pay rent or hire employees or do any of that stuff. It's very, very low overhead, which means anyone can get in. And if someone will do the activities, they can create an income. You want to make sure that the activities that they do are something anyone and everyone could do if they choose to. And that's duplication. But duplication just isn't really understood very well, amazingly, actually, by a lot of people in our space. And I think the mindset to think about is, this app that you have right now for your business is very duplicatable. Anyone can open it up, download it. It's free. There's a free version. The pro version is there for those of you who really want to create a significant business, but the free version allows anyone to get started right away. And that's huge. Here's another thought too, that I want you to understand. If you think about it, when you get confused, do you sort of start executing quickly, or do you start slowing down and not moving as quickly? Most likely you slow down, because a confused mind just doesn't know, what do I say? Where do I go? What do I send? And this app gives you clarity. I'll show you that in just a minute. And those of you who have been working with it, you understand this, but having that clarity for a new person allows them to get engaged right away. And being authentic is another challenge too. You know, I'm sure you've seen that there are all these digital marketers out there and people telling you, here's how you market digitally and blah, blah, blah. And all that's great. And I don't want to take anything away from anyone. If someone on here is a social networking influencer, because hats off to you. That's just a huge skill set to have. But you want to be thinking about who 17 levels below you, what are they going to be able to do? Can they do this? And how do they get their message heard? Because they might not be as influential on social media. So what is powerful about your app is that even though you're using all the advantages of this digital technology, you're using it in a way that's very personal. It's you sending a message to someone you know, and it's that personal message that changes the game. It gets your digital message opened, looked at, and heard, because there's that familiar name recognition, personal touch that changes the game. So it's a huge distinction to take in between what your Advancement Navigator app will do for you as opposed to some other digital tool. So if we take a look at what we do here, we do the weekly trainings for sure, but here's the bigger sort of secret weapon of this app for you. There's a concept called KPIs, which stands for Key Performance Indicators, and that's looking at kind of the 1 inch of the business that matters. And really all that matters in our business is how many times the story gets told about your product and about your business. And the quality of that conversation, the quality of that presentation, and the consistency with which it happens. Measuring that has always been just a little bit challenging for people. But here, your app will tell you exactly how many times you're reaching out and telling that story. And we know this as a fact, I can state this categorically, the more times a new person will tell the story, the more likely they are to get a check quickly. And so when you start to get a check as a brand new person, that just changes your whole belief about whether this is going to work, because you did something you hadn't done before. You shared the story with someone, they looked at some information, they ordered something, or they joined your team, and suddenly you've got a check from it. And you suddenly realize, hey, I can do this. That's the process we want the new person to go through. And now you're able to accomplish that with new team that joins your business, because you've got an app you can share with them where anyone can do it. The other dynamic is that you can take a look at who's stepping into leadership, because you might share and bring someone on your team who's, okay, they're happy, they're doing a little bit, but then they find someone, or their person finds someone who suddenly blows it up. And you can see this on your app. You can see what's going on. You can see what's happening. What we're going to do today, and what I would encourage you to do, and many of you have already done it, I'm sure, is just making your first exposures. And Dawn's going to do a workshop after I'm done going through the app a little bit. But I also want you to set a goal, because goals are powerful. And just say, okay, I'm going to be on that leaderboard. I'm going to be on that front page with X number of exposures every day. And just, if you will set that for yourself, you'll hold yourself to it better. And it is a little public, so you'll be able to see, and you won't be able to fake yourself out. You'll know, am I actually being true to my word and doing what I said I was going to do for myself? And you can see it visually right on the app. But for sure, personalize your app. The more you personalize it, the more you make it your own, the easier it is to work with it and share it with people. Put your picture on there, add your social feed links. if you use a booking service, put your booking link on there. So make sure that you've got all of that personal stuff on there, because that will really help you. And I'm going to go over to the app in a second yet, but I just want to wrap up this part of the slides by saying what Dawn's going to walk you through, and what I really want you guys to do is make at least 2 exposures in the next 24 hours. Ideally, you'll do it in the next 20 minutes, because I think when you can see how many people you can bring in and send a message to and invite to take a look in just a matter of minutes, you'll realize this just is so simple that you can do this in all those stolen moments that you might have. So let me stop sharing my screen for just a second, and then let me go back to the app and share that. Okay, can you all see the app on the screen? Hopefully you can. I think you can. Hold on. I just have to figure out, nope, don't do that. Oh, don't mind me. I'm trying to move it over, but I'm not going to be able to do that. There we go. Got it. All right, so here is your beautiful app, which is lovely. And what I want to walk you through is just a couple of basic things. I don't know why it's doing that, but what I want to walk you through is just a couple of basic things so you know how to do those, because Dawn's going to go through and ask you to do these as a group. And here's what I would say. We've got 20 people on this call right now. I would challenge you that if everyone on this call does 5 exposures in the second half of this call, imagine how much feedback you'd have. I would really encourage you. I know that's a bit of a stretch for everyone to actually do it, because some of you might be driving a car and all of that. But if you all did 5 exposures in the second half hour and then shared what the feedback was, you'd be amazed, because you can't have 20 people each do 5 exposures without having a ton of people get back to you and say, yeah, go ahead, send me some information. I'll take a look. And once you start to see that when you invite, people say yes. And then if you share information, people say, tell me more. And then when you share information or have a conversation, ideally you have a conversation with them, then you suddenly end up with people raising their hands saying, yeah, I want to do this. So let me just show you a couple of key things, because this is how you make an exposure. Step 1 is you have to bring people into the app. So they aren't, if you're brand new, you don't have anyone in your app yet. So you can do that a couple of different ways. You can click this plus sign down here. And then when you do that, you can bring them in with 2 different things. You can do the wizard, which is what I would recommend that you do when you're starting, or at any time actually. Or you can click import up here. And for those of you who've seen this before, bear with me, but just understand, have you talked to everyone in your phone? You know, have you brought everyone over? If you haven't, this is your day, right? So you're going to press that import button, and you're going to see all of these names here are in your phone. And that's your phone's contact list. So you can just do, let me just find myself here. 1 second. On. And I'm going to type in there. Nope, I probably am in with my long first name. Hold on. There's a little bit of a delay too on my screen. There we go. So you find the person you're looking for. And then what you do to bring them in is you click this gray box right here. All right. When you click that box, this lights up over here for import. And you just import them right in. And they will come in with all their information. And you can click continue down here to load them into the app. So you click continue. Takes a little bit of time. And then you can see that it says your contact was saved. Now you have a couple of options here. Usually when I bring someone in, I'm not putting them in a campaign right away, but sometimes I'm putting them in a campaign. These are email campaigns, and we'll do a training on those so you understand. But right now, I'm going to choose not yet. I'm just going to bring this person in. And then I'm also going to choose not yet again right here, because I don't have a follow-up scheduled just yet, but you can schedule a follow-up, which is huge. And so there is that new contact, because I have these sorted so that the latest person I bring in comes at the top of the list so I can see. So now if I wanted to share a resource with that person, So long as I'm in the contact and I share a resource, the app is going to track that resource, which let me tell you what, I was running blind for years, decades, never knowing when I sent someone a video or an invitation to an event, if they ever saw it. This is the secret weapon of this app, in my opinion. When I send someone a link and they click on it, the app sends me a notification. When I send someone a video and they click on it, I can tell they've clicked on the link, but then if they watch it, the app tells me they've watched 68%, they've watched 2%, they've watched 99%. So I suddenly know what have they actually looked at, which changes the game in terms of telling me how to follow up, when to follow up. It's so empowering for me as the person that's sending out the information. So to send someone information, you simply click on send resources, or if I want to invite them to an event, I would simply click event invite. But for the purposes of today, since you're going to do a workshop where I'd really like you to get some feedback, let's click on the send resources here. And then what happens is your resources load onto your page. And for the new people, let me show you what happens. If you click on this top one, these are your resources, and they are organized in a way that makes everything very simple and straightforward for a brand new person. Step one is always going to be asking for permission, particularly when you're texting, but just in general, you really want to ask people permission if you can send them some information. You have some great options here, and I'm just going to choose one just for purposes of display. But read through these. When you click on this dark button right here, you can preview it and see what it says. The app automatically loads the contact's first name. So it's Jennifer. I'm promoting a free 30-minute power Zoom packed with valuable insights that I think you'll really appreciate. Can I send you an invite? Do afternoons or evenings work better for you? And it's signed Joe because our demo app is Joe Pro, just so you know. So you can see what your invite is, first of all. When you send it, before you hit send, you'll have the option to edit this. So if this isn't the language, like I'm sending it to my contact name, since I know I go by Jen, not Jennifer, first of all, I would probably edit that contact in my app so that the first name was right. But if I didn't want to do that, I just wanted to edit the message, I could go in and change this from Jen to Jennifer when I get to a place of sending it. But I'm going to close this for now, and I'm just going to show you another one. If you take a look, for example, can I share a short video with you? That's another really simple one. If you click on that, Jennifer, can I send a short video link about my new gold and silver business that I think you'll absolutely love? That's such an easy ask. Honestly, if you were to send that to 5 people in the next half hour, how many people would raise their hand and say, yeah, sure, go ahead. Why not? I mean, this is the time, right? If there isn't one now, when is there? So if I wanted to send that to me, what I would do is I would click on this box right here. So you click on that, and here's another cool thing that happens. When you do that, the app pops up. Because I loaded all my information with the contact, I loaded an email address, I loaded a cell number, and then it volunteers the social so that you can find someone by social. So what I have in there are these options of emailing the person the link, texting the person the link, or going to social to send the person the link. And phones are a little different. Like if I click on social, it comes up slightly differently on an iPhone. The apps are all scrolled across here so that you can see all the different apps that you could send it through. If you do it on an Android, it's just a little different. The list is different in terms of how it presents. It presents vertically instead of horizontally, just so that you know those are those permissions. But if we go back here and I click on, can I send you a short video? I'm going to say, I'm going to text it to myself. So I click on this right here, and here's the magic. My numbers come up. I say yes. The app is going to ask me, do you always want to use this phone number, or you just want to use it this one time? I'm just going to say just once for now. And up comes my texting information. So here's where I can edit this. I can go in here and I can say, hey, Jen, And I can make this, you know, great to see you at the farm this morning. So you can put in stuff that makes it contextual for that person and your relationship. I was thinking of you. I wanted to ask a quick question. Can I send you a short video link about my new gold and silver business? So there you go. So you can modify this if you want to. And then if I were to text this to myself, I hit send, off it goes. And then if I go to my text messaging and I click on that and I say yes, and then I go back to my app, it's going to tell me under activity log, it was sent. And then in a second, if I were to refresh, my iPhone takes a little longer because there's a time delay. It would tell me not only did I send something, but there would be a little eyeball icon there showing that I had clicked on it, that I had actually said yes to the text, that I had responded. So that's how you can see what's going on with your resources when you send your resources to someone. It's a total game changer in terms of your business is with you. You have it in the palm of your hand because who goes anywhere without their phone, right? You can send them something in stolen moments. You're going to ask them and it's all preloaded. No one has to come up with anything. You might change the message just a little bit, but no one has to come up with what they're going to do. It's all right there. So a new person can just be in activity immediately. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And if I can stop sharing, there we go. Nope, I don't want to do that. It's done a new share. And I'm going to just take a moment here because I know we've had a few questions in the chat, I think. So I'm just going to, before we get started, oh, Steffi's just, or Dawn, you've put some stuff in there in terms of where the training is. That's perfect. Okay. So what I really want you guys to do over the next workshop with Dawn is pull out your phone. Even if you've been using this app a whole bunch, this is the moment. Just use this as your window for when you're going to do a little bit of connection with people this afternoon. And Dawn's going to walk you through 5 people, 4 people, 2 people, 3 people, whatever you can do. But I'd really encourage you, push yourself. You've got a good half hour you've set aside for your business already. Take the time, get in action, figure out how do I actually do this? This is the spot where you can get your questions answered. It's designed to be hands-on. There's no better trainer than Dawn in terms of what buttons do you push and how do you make this work. She's got the patience of Job and will walk you through everything so that you understand what's going on. And I just would encourage you, get in there, put yourself in, send yourself resources if you're brand new and you haven't done anything. But really just reach out and start doing invites, because as soon as you get that invitation process going, the sooner you'll have people raising their hands saying, go ahead, send me some information. As soon as you have people looking at information, I guarantee you, if you have enough people look at the information, your information's top flight, what you're doing is outstanding, you're with a great company. So everything is going to pull together for you. What has to happen, though, is that the story has to be told every day as many times as possible. And you guys are the feet on the ground that are going to get that done. And the cool thing here with this industry is that you're going to be compensated for it, which is really the fun part. So Dawn, is there anything else you want me to cover before I hand the reins over to you and let you guide them in this workshop?
I think that's great what you've done. In fact, it's so funny. I think of myself as pretty much a rapid funnel expert, but every time you do a training, I learn more and more. So the redundancy is key. It is true.
You know, you do it until you can teach it. And even when you can teach it, I just sit there, and our CEO, Patrick, as you know, knows so much more than I do. So every time he shows something, I sit there and go, wow, I didn't know we could do that. There are layers and layers. Here's the other cool thing. More's coming. You know, it's really the next year with this app, you're going to see some features that are just going to knock your socks off in terms of what you're going to be able to do and how you're going to be able to support your teams. It's really exciting. So Well, awesome. If no one has any particular questions for me, I will sign off and I will let you guys have a hands-on workshop and just go rock it. I look forward to hearing your numbers in terms of how many people you were able to reach out to and whether you got some immediate responses. I'd love to hear what those were because that's always a fun process to see.
That would be awesome. Okay, well,
Awesome.
then we will see you next Friday for our Funnel Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And so glad you're with us, Jen.
Thanks
so
so much,
blessed.
guys. Thanks, Dawn, very much. Have an awesome afternoon.
Thank you. All right, guys. Yeah, we have a great account executive in Jen. We are so fortunate. And one of the things, if you are a leader, I want you to pay attention to how you could really utilize this training. Let's say you get 5, maybe even 10 of your team on here, and we do a live work session where we're asking them each to reach out to 5 people. That means on a Friday afternoon before the end of the week, which our end of the week is Saturday night, Central Time, midnight, you can have 25 to 50 people being reached out to in an hour's time. I mean, in 30 minutes. So encourage your teams to come on. We're going to keep them accountable to their numbers and help them to just realize how easy this is, because we overcomplicate things when we don't understand. Like she mentioned, sometimes when there's confusion, it just slows you down. So let me just go through some basic things here. Then we'll open it up to Q&A. And Antoine will be on. He's just running a little bit late. He had some other events that he had to do. So he's going to come on, fire us up. And but here is our dashboard. And the first thing I'd like you guys to do, if you're brand spanking new, if you haven't done this yet, I would like you to click this add button. And I'd like you to add yourself to your own database so that you can actually send some things to yourself via email, or maybe you can do it on text messaging, however you want to do it. But that way you get an idea of what your end users are going to be receiving. So take a minute now to add yourself. I'm not going to do it here because we've already added. This is a demo account. Now, what's beautiful is when you are adding people to this, a lot of times we have social media contacts. Someone's reaching out to you through some platform and you don't have their phone number or email. You don't even need it. So you don't even have to get hung up. If someone sends you a DM and says, hey, can I have more information? You have their first name and last name right there. At least you could send them the information and then gather their more information at the same time after the fact. So it doesn't have to hold you back from adding them. Now, once you add someone, this is where you would be. What you would see is going under contacts. And let's pretend I just added Alana. And let's pretend that was me. So when you click on the person's name or your name, then this is what it's going to show you. It's going to have a little profile here. And I want you to get comfortable with all the features. You can't break this. Click on things, play, have fun. When you click send resources, this is what Jen was showing you. You're going to see our library of resources. Under at cost metals, we have a whole bunch of different categories. We have 12 categories now, and you don't have to do them in order. We do recommend that you always get permission first, especially if you just have decided that you're going to reach out to people via text messaging. So what happens? It's not 100%. Each mobile carrier is different. Verizon, T-Mobile, etc. But the spamming laws are getting so strict now that if you just shoot over someone a link without what they call two-way conversation first, if their AI or bots or whoever it is that's monitoring these things see a link before there is something that came from the other person that was some kind of message, yes or something, then there is a high probability that your link will get blocked. And you will not be the wiser of it, because on your end, it was sent, but on their end, they never received it. So to get past that and to make sure that it gets through, especially if you're text messaging, I would say click get permissions. And what's beautiful about this is we have come up with a whole bunch of scripts that you can just preview to get an idea, see which ones you like. We add the person's name at the top. We add your name at the bottom automatically. And then there's some different scripts. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's coming fully loaded. You can edit it before you send it. Let me just show you a different one. I got to show you this. So here's another one. So some of these you'll resonate with, some of them you might not. It's okay. Pick your favorites. On all of the resources in the library, you're going to have your personal favorites. So this is what I would recommend that you do. I even ask permission before I do it on social media, because it bothers me when people are assumptive and just send me links to videos or whatever without asking permission. So it's received better when you ask and you have that etiquette. So I want you to, this is your business. You do it however you want. But as far as text messaging goes, we tested it this week with someone on Verizon, and they did not ask permission. It was their friends. So they were in contact with them via text messaging all the time, and it went through fine. So what I would recommend, if you do decide to send something without a permission, then send a separate text message that says, can you please confirm that you just received what I just sent you? Just to make sure that they get it. Okay? So, and by the way, if you get the permission on the phone call, maybe you've been talking to them on the phone and they said, send me the information. Then what I normally do is I just send them a text real quick that says, okay, is it cool if I send you that link now that you asked for? And they write back, yes. Now the mobile carrier can see two-way conversation. And now bada bing, I can move down to any of these, my secrets page, a survey, or a peek. I would say if it's warm market, and warm market means somebody that you know, I would go to peek. These are starters. And there's a whole bunch of different ones. And this is where, if you just click play on all of these, it's going to open it up. You'll be able to see it and see if you like it. And all of them are different. And just, you'll get to choose whichever one you think is going to be perfect for that person. Like, for instance, we have one that's called, where did it go? Oh, here we go. Intro for those planning retirement. Well, if the person's a millennial, you're probably not going to want to send that to them. But if they're over 55, you might want to send that to them. So that's one of my favorites. I like this anchor during turbulent times. So it's going to bring in and talk about what's going on in the economy. So maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you would prefer it to be like a uplifting, positive thing. And so we could do something like, do you remember the moment you realized the world changed? That's a real positive one. Or the rise of the entrepreneur. So go through these, get familiar with them, and decide which is your favorite. And when you're ready to send it to someone, let's say I choose the top one, I'm going to checkbox that. And then depending on the information I have in their profile, if I have an email, it's going to show the email here. If I have their phone number, it's going to show that this is teal. Otherwise, it's going to be grayed out. And then this one will always show up, because this is just your copy paste that you could copy and paste and put anywhere you want. Like she showed you, you can put it in a Telegram, and a WhatsApp, and an Instagram, and in wherever, all those different places. Okay. And then let me just show you really quickly. We have surveys. And right now we have 2 surveys. And again, I'm not going to go in and open them, but if you click over here and say open, you can see what they are. They're really cool. So these are great lead generators for people that you want to maybe post these in groups or on Reddit or something like that. And these are general surveys. One is on gold and silver, and one is on the side gig. And a side gig means, are they looking for a second income? The side gig economy are like Uber drivers, Airbnb, network marketing, that kind of thing. And so you can post one of these. Now, if this is your friend, your best friend, I don't typically send a survey to someone that's what's called warm market, my friends and family. I use this more for cold market, but again, there is no black and white. And then the secrets page is what we just launched last week. It is for the pro level only. If you are on the free version, then this will be grayed out. But here's where we explain that our free version is extremely robust and gives you all the tools you need to close. There are other features that are going to be available for the pro level, and the secrets page is one of them. And the secrets page is a series of landing pages. This one I will open up. I'll just go through the first page because I don't want to fill out the information. But it's a landing page with your information on it regarding for helping people that are curious about gold and silver and offering them a guide to 4 secrets that they must know. Your information is going to be here in the headshot with your name. And then there's a form where they can fill out, and they will be given a free PDF guide on gold and silver. And there's a survey that they fill out. It's really cool. So you could link an advertising campaign to this and just have at it. It's amazing. Let me go back to here. Okay. So this is our library. Close some of these categories, and it just continues on. You can go into the presenters. We have 3 different presenters now, and we will have more shortly. And the ideal of that is that each person reaches a different demographic. And so, based on who you're contacting, let them decide, or not let them, but, you'll know best for them. If it's a women's empowerment group, you might want a female. If it's, someone that wants to do, like in the case of Uwe comes from researching the central banking system. So he's going to be very analytical. So if you want someone that's going to be analytical, someone that needs, that you have a user that really wants you to break that kind of information down, that's going to be your key ticket. So again, watch all 3. And of course, we know our master presenter, Antoine, he's amazing. So we have those here. We have the pricing comparison that we just added this week, which is phenomenal. And we have our product pricing page. This is the same product pricing page that is on AdvNav. The difference is your information is on it, your join button is on it, your headshots on it, all your information. So I would say never just send them directly to the AdvNav website. That's just my personal opinion. When you have all these tools that will have all your information on it. What I always explain to people in the world of marketing, you are trying to drive traffic to your landing pages and keep them on your landing page, not exit them somewhere else. They can get distracted. And if you're working with cold market, this is a cutthroat business. You may have the best upline that is the most loyal to you that would never poach. But people that don't know you, that are in network marketing, will look for upline. They will try to find sponsors. It's called shopping sponsors. And I'm not trying to put any fear into you, but there's a chance if you're just throwing out YouTube channel stuff to your upline, there's a good chance that they may go around you, and your upline would not be to the wiser. You might not have even spoken to this person. You don't even know that they signed up with someone else. So ideally, you want to always keep everything contained on your landing page. And that's why we have these Zoom integration pages, so that if you invite someone to Zoom, you're not sending them to the Zoom directly. You're actually sending them to your landing page, so that when it's on, they're seeing it through they're seeing it with your information framed around the Zoom. And when we close out the Zoom, your information is right there along with your join link. So it can't make it any easier. And then here we have under the follow-up, lots to choose from. So just wanted to show you there's so much more. So just take some time, however that looks, 20 minutes a day, go through and see what we have here. Someone here found a YouTube compensation plan today. And I said, why would you send your people to someone else when you have it right here? This has all been authorized through ACM Corporate. And so go with these. So let's say you wanted to send yourself one of these peak. Again, you would just click on this. And let's say you wanted to text message it. You would click the text message and it's going to pull it up. This is where a script is going to come in, but you can modify this as you wish. Maybe you don't like this. Maybe you want to say, it was great having lunch with you today. Great seeing you, and that's it. You can modify it however you wish. You could then click go. And this is a trackable link. It's going to, as Jen says, notify you after they have watched a video for over 50%. You're going to get what's called an engagement towards the contest. So when you send something out, it's called an exposure. When they take action, they fill out a form. Oops, better start talking faster. They fill out a form, they watch a video, then it becomes an engagement. And once it becomes an engagement, that's when it's going to show up on your dashboard and you're going to get notified of it. So let's go ahead and do this now. I'd like you all that have, even those that have already done this, I'd like you to now import 5 people. You don't have to send to 5 people, but I want you to think of 5 people. So let me show you something. You're going to go to your contacts. I already have some in this demo account, but all you have to do is click on the funnel here. I think I have this wrong. Oops, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Forget that. You're going to click on this, the plus sign. Sorry, I should know this. And click on the wizard. And the wizard is going to open up and it's going to make you import a minimum of 5. Now, you can import as many as you want, but we do recommend that you only do what you think you can get done in the next few days. So it will not automatically send anything to anyone. So don't worry, it's not going to do anything like that. So here is where all you would do is look through this and you would click on 5 people. And then you would click import. Now, mine, I don't want to do this, but you're going to do that. Now, I wanted to show you something. I don't know if you know this, but if you go into your contacts, I have an iPhone. And if I click at the very bottom, I'm clicking on the number side. That's going to take me to the very bottom. At the very bottom here, it shows you how many contacts you have in your phone. Most people have over 300. Most people, a lot of people have over 1,000. So let's say you make a decision to send out 5 a day. Just go through who are the people that jump when you say jump. Who are the people that really believe in you, that you worked with before, that you would like to work with, that have a circle of influence. So when we're asking you just to add 5, send out 5 to someone, it's not a stretch. Once you get your 5, I want you to go ahead and click on one of them. And again, you're going to click on send resources. I won't go through the whole thing again, but you're going to choose what you want to send them, whether you're going to start with their permission or whether you're going to start with something else and then send it to them. So what we'll do now, I'll give you like 3 minutes to do that because we really want you to do it in the chat box. I would like you to type it how many people are you going to send resources to before end of week tomorrow? I would recommend that you do it before tomorrow. That gives them time to do it. Our promotion is ending tomorrow, and it's never going to be like this again. I mean, they will have promotions, but the 300 cycle is never going to happen again like it is currently. We might do some kind of fast start. So take advantage of it, guys. Each of us are entrepreneurs, and each of us, this is our own business. So if you want to throw out an incentive, throw out an incentive. This is my birthday weekend, and I was one $3.99 package away from cycling, and I wanted to make sure I got it for this 300. So what did I do? I decided to sacrifice my $50 referral fee and offer a rebate for one person. Like the first person that gets this is going to get a $50 rebate. And so what that means is I'm not going to come out of pocket. When they sign up, they're going to pay $399. I'm going to get paid on that in about 10 days. And when I get paid on that, I'm going to rebate them the $50 bonus. So it's worth it to me. If it makes sense, do something like that. So you could send some things out today and tell them you got a deadline. It's got to be in by tomorrow, or the first one that does it, the deal's off the table. I'm gonna do one this way. Whatever your thing is, this is just food for thought. I want to give you some ideas. Okay, so I see a question for, I think this is Shelly. That's how you pronounce it. It says, if they only fill out the phone QR email, will the page still capture them? So what the QR is you have printed something that has the QR code on it, like a flyer or a business card, and you're at somewhere where there's foot traffic, or you have your QR code on your telephone and you're somewhere with foot traffic, like you're taking a walk and you meet someone and you strike up a conversation, you throw up your QR code and they point their camera out it. That's how it works. So it's not an online thing. It's going to be in person. When they do that, it's going to bring up your business card, and you're going to ask them, please text me. When they text you, you will have the information. It's not going to add them automatically into your database. So then you have their phone number, and then you write them back and say, okay, this is me. How do you spell your last name? Make sure you get your information. Can you text me over your email as well? And so make sure you gather all the information that you want from this person before you let them walk away. And then you're going to add them. And one of the things we're going to talk about in future things, and you can start doing it now, is really adding notes. Because you just met this person while you were hiking, and you might not remember them from Adam tomorrow, and you can add notes. The person was hiking, they like the outdoors, they are interested in gold and silver, they've been married for 10 years, they have 3 children, they're a veteran. Write down as much as you can, because you'll forget the information, and we're going to show you some advanced features later, how you can target certain demographics. If they have children, if they're a veteran, whatever it is that you're trying to target, you could reach out to those people if you've added them to your notes. So that's really key. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand now, and I can unmute you. We have about 5 minutes left. If my phone will last that long. Unfortunately, I can't have my headset on at the same time as charging. So if anyone has a question, go ahead and ask. And let's go back to the leaderboard. This is our July leaderboard. We don't have any prizes for this month, but it's just accountability. And so you always want to be in the top 10. So here's our top 10. Okay, so Charles says, I'm trying. Oh, Shelly says, I was referring to the Four Secrets landing page. For, oh, yeah, absolutely. If, when you said QR code, sorry. Oh, maybe you didn't say QR code. I just read it wrong. You said or. Forgive me for that. Yes. So if they fill out the information for the free secrets page, it's going to show up under the activity log. So if you're on the premium, you're going to see more information. If you're on the free version, it's going to be on both cases, it's going to be here under tasks and notifications at the very top, notifications. And if you're on the premium, you're going to see more details. See here it says, okay, he didn't fill out the secrets form, but here's one where we have Patrick filled out the form. Click here to view what he said. Activity log. Here we go. And that's where you can review more information. All right, the next question says, can you show the message to Facebook? Can you show how the message to, oh, I think it's how can you share something to Facebook? If you go to the contacts first and send a resource,
All right, guys, I'm going to talk to you from the other location. If you can hear me okay, go ahead and type a 1 in the chat box. And hopefully you're not hearing too much background noise. Thank you. Okay, so the phone died. So I'm not going to be able to share with you the actual how to do it. But if you want to go to Facebook, if you want to post something on Facebook from the app, you can just click directly on resources, open the resource library, and that's going to show you everything we just went through, but it's not trackable. So when you go directly to the resources library without connecting it to a contact, it's the way to do it for any time that you're going to do social media. It's not trackable. All right, let's see. We'll go ahead and take one more question because I know it's hard if you don't see. Charles says group code page, I put in ACM and get the next button, but nothing happens. All right, so I will type in here. If this is the page that you're going to, please confirm that's where you're going. And if that's not working, then just go directly to Advancement Navigator. And if that's not working, then on Telegram, I'm at @Bullioness. So just reach out to me on @Bullioness, or and then we'll walk you through how to get set up. All right, well, you guys are welcome. She said, thank you so much for pouring so much information, so much into these tools. You know, we're just getting started here. And the company is still in soft launch. So how exciting is that? That by the time we are in launch, we already have a robust library of resources, but we're just going to keep perfecting them. We're going to, ones that aren't as effective, we'll remove, we'll add new ones, we'll have fresh faces, fresh leaders. it's always going to be getting better and better. And so just really, even if you're not technically savvy yourself, some people on your team could be. So make sure that you are sharing it with others. So want to thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be back next Thursday or next Friday for Funnel Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern.